The scent of gunpowder smoke. Bullets pass nearby me, grazing my skin like a rain of bullets flying towards me from the side. When did I come to this battlefield? My hands go down to my waist faster than I can think. I grasp my trusty Desert Eagle and government. I take them out of their holsters and release the safeties with my thumbs. My gaze sweeps left and right as I bend forwards into a crouch, examining my surroundings. There's codebreakers surrounding me, 2 on the right and 1 on the left. Furthermore, there's 2 more approaching from the upper left-hand side. In their hands are Beretta M92FSs. First made in the USA in 1990, it's a very reliable pistol that several countries have officially adopted for military use. Their black, shining muzzles are pointed at me. I jump into the space between my enemies. They fire their bullets at me as I run, but they end up narrowly missing me. Codebreakers fall to friendly fire and sparks fly as the 9mm slugs collide with the walls. In the left corner of my vision, I see one of my enemies start to fall down. I simulate my own speed and my enemy's position and do some quick calculations. I turn my muzzles towards the spot I predicted he'd end up at and pull the trigger. The Desert Eagle's bullet hits the shoulder of one of the codebreakers on my right, causing blood and artificial sparks to spray out of him as he drops his gun. Enemy status disarmed. Just as expected, he was hit with a semi-jacketed hollow point bullet. It was a hollowed out shape at the tip and has a soft exposed lead base. When it hits the target, the pressure causes it to change into a mushroom shape, a process, fittingly enough, known as mushrooming. That reduces its own penetration force, but in exchange transfers all of its kinetic energy into its target. Then finally, the bullet shatters like a grenade, inflicting the maximum amount of damage to adjacent areas of tissue. The man to my left falls over as if he had tripped on something. Blood pours from his left thigh and abdomen. The bullets fired by the flailing code members fly off in random directions, completely off target.
Mazui!
A stray bullet hits a box-like object in the center of the hall. For some reason, the codebreakers are shaken. They lower their weapons. I point my Desert Eagle at them and draw the trigger until it touches the handle. The surge of orange flames gushing from the barrel paints the aisle in passionate red hues. Empty cartridges go consecutively whizzing through the air. I shoot a hole in the codebreaker's left breast, making him dance in midair as if he'd been hit by a car. Another one of my bullets hits the left shoulder of another man, causing him to slam into a counter. That impact causes something to fall out of the box. A human figure appears in the center of the room, accompanied by a sound similar to shattering glass. It's a girl about 16 or 17 years old with long brown hair. She mutters this in a monotonous voice. One of the fallen codebreakers stands up while nursing his left hand.
守らねば。
2 45 ACB bullets through his abdomen and 1 through his chest silence him for good this time. The sound of something breaking echoes as a boy appears, just like with that girl earlier.
すまない。オンに切るよ。
The boy bows his head once and starts running in the direction I came from, and now the girls disappeared. What? Who or what were they? Was Koda planning on using them as hostages? As long as they don't get in the way of me mopping up these code members, whoever they really were doesn't matter to me. There's no more enemies in the vicinity. Is this the Tokyo government building? Or is it the ziggurat in Babylon? Either way, what were those guys from Code protecting? It's a crystal ball, more specifically an exabyte crystal. I place a government in my left holster and grab the crystal. Trapped inside is a girl with pink ribbons in her hair. She bangs her fists on the walls from inside, trying to say something, but I can't hear her voice. The codebreakers were protecting this. In other words, this is something very important to them. If that's the case, I might be able to use this. I put the exabyte crystal in my coat pocket. I take out the empty magazine in my Desert Eagle. I switch it out for a fully loaded magazine from the pouch on the left side of my waist. As long as I don't run out of bullets, the codebreakers are mere target practice. Even if they try to shoot at me, they won't be able to stop me from killing Enlil with my own hands. My determination renewed, I start running inside. For God's sake, just how many codebreakers have gathered here? What was that? I stop moving when I feel a bad premonition. I definitely saw something shine just now. I sense the details of my surroundings. There's a super fine wire at the height of my shin. One end is affixed to the wall. The other end is attached to a small mechanism mounted on the wall, a simple switch inserted on a small plastic sheet between two electrodes. A cord stretches out from the box to a different case. Spread all over the metal container is Semtex C4 plastic explosives with ball bearings on top of them. There's an electric fuse at the tip of the cord, buried in the Semtex. It's a directional anti-personnel lead mine, a claymore. It's a nasty booby trap similar to a pipe bomb. When it explodes, the C4 sends all the metal bearings flying in one direction, meant to shred anyone unfortunate enough to trip it. If this is an M18 Claymore for military use, it should scatter 701.2mm iron balls covering everything in a 60-degree angle diameter. It's certain to kill an enemy within 50 meters and inflict severe damage to an enemy that's within 100 meters. That was too close for comfort. Although it's a hastily constructed counterfeit, if I triggered it at close range, I'd be splattered all over the room. When I think about how they're willing to do something like this at the expense of the physical stability of the building, I realize just how desperate code is. But I can use this. I unfasten the wire nailed to the wall while paying close attention to it so that I don't pull on it too hard and accidentally set it off. They were obviously the ones who set this up. The placement of this trap was probably deliberate, but if I can manipulate the timing of the explosion, then... I run deeper down the hall, counting the seconds, the wire in hand. I look over my shoulder to see columns of fire spouting out from the walls on the side. The code members lay scattered everywhere on the ground, like old rags. I start to run forward once again. The hallway is blocked by a steel door. Alongside the wall is a touch panel. It's clearly a password-protected panel designed to open and close the door. To me, this is no different from an ordinary padlock. That's something the enemy should know as well. They'll probably attack me when I open this gate. I take my Desert Eagle out of its holster. I lean in close to the wall and crack the gate's control system. Password information discovered. Interesting. The instant the gate opens, 9mm Luger bullets begin raining down on me. This rapid fire is from a submachine gun. I can't avoid the barrage in the narrow confines of the gate. There's three enemies? While waiting for the opportunity to attack when Tempest of Bullets wanes, I try to peek out from my cover behind the gate to plan my strategy. I reflexively draw back. The shockwaves created by the bullets tear off a few strands of my hair. Damn, it just keeps coming. Enlil might be escaping while I'm stuck here. If I just idle here, Code's reinforcements will probably arrive. I'll be utterly screwed if they manage to launch a pincer attack. In that case, I can guess the positions of the codebreakers from the intervals of the sound of gunfire and the muzzle flashes. I do a preliminary calculation of possible bullet trajectories if I try to rebound them off the walls and floor. I hold the government, now loaded with full metal jacket bullets, with both hands. I aim at the spot on the wall I'd calculated and pull the trigger. Alright. One of the code members falls over, having been pierced in the flank and shoulder. The warped recoil bullets have left huge wounds on his body. The last one's shooting hand has been disabled enough. His middle and ring fingers have been severely wounded. Now, using all the power of my mechanized legs, I prep my Desert Eagle and spring out right in front of my enemy. The last remaining one frantically points his Walter MPL submachine gun at me. The 9mm bullets begin to fly, grazing my cheeks. Minor scratches, but they're close enough to make me recoil a bit. While the code member whose right hand is injured tries to switch his pistol to his left hand, I shoot at him. The bullet pierces him right above his heart, creating a large hole and breaking his arm. Whether he lives or dies, he's harmless now. I fire another shot at the other code member's gun itself, and the submachine gun's frame swerves as it flies in midair. Good, now I can advance. But then the code member who lost his MPL reaches his left hand to his waist. He pulls out something long that shines silver, then swings it horizontally towards me. I can't avoid it. I reflexively parry it with the Desert Eagle in my right hand. A shock passes from my right hand to the crown of my head. My vision instantly goes white. I try to collect my hazy consciousness as I stagger on my feet. My right hand is completely numb and I have no strength to put into my left hand either. That was a stun rod. A rod that imparts a massive amount of electrical current into anything it touches.
お、仕留めたと思ったんだがな。
As he continues, the code member brushes off his chest armor. My body automatically moves and I do a forward somersault, rolling right between his legs. As I'm getting up, he swings a stun rod from above. I jump out of the way.
やるね!
The code member charges at me again. My strength still hasn't returned to my right hand, but it seems like my cyberized left hand can move. Sweat as cold as ice flows down the back of my spine. I raise my left hand while still recovering from his counterattack. The back of my hand automatically slides open, and silver knuckle guards rise up from within. These are stun knuckles. I block the stun rod that he's swinging downwards. The stun knuckles crash into the stun rod. Intense sparks illuminate our surroundings. We both jumped back to a suitable distance, as if we'd repelled each other.
これも当たらないってのか。気に入った。
His lips move up as he flashes me a frank, toothy smile. I feel small cramps in my unusually swollen pectorals. Just why is he so happy? While gauging the distance between us, I adjust my battle stance. That code member is planning to aim for my eye with his stun rod. The muscles in his upper arms are bulging like a thick straw rope, showing that he excels at hand-to-hand combat.
俺の名はニンギルス。正々堂々と名乗っていいと思った相手は久しぶりだ。
Why is he declaring his name? It seems in the past, samurais and knights would boast their names to let themselves be known to the world. This was so that they could make their deeds be known to others. I see, terrorists are similar in that respect. If they don't say, I'm the one who committed this crime, then their existence has no value. But that still doesn't feel like a full explanation for his behavior.
なんだい？だんまりか？
As he engages in this idle talk, a daring expression rises to his face, and his eyes carefully focus only on me, waiting for me to make the first move. The reason he told me his name is probably to buy time for his reinforcements to arrive. His stun rod has the advantage when it comes to reach. If I try to attack from here, I'll have no choice but to wait for the right moment to strike. It'll be easier to deal with if I wait for him to strike first.
どうしたヒー？おじけづいたか？
He taunts me while lightly swinging the tip of his stun rod from left to right. It's an advanced technique used when you can't perceive any signs of your opponent attacking. But why is Ningirsu so calm? Does he think he can beat me? But the only reason his first attack hit me was because it was a surprise attack. And if I win, then his life is all but forfeit. Why am I thinking so much about this man?
不思議そうな面構えだな。ならば教えてやる。何？俺はここで死んでも構わんのさ。お前を止めることさえできればな。
He's so determined to accomplish his goal that he doesn't even care about his own life. I understand. This man is somewhat similar to me.
やっと本気でやる気になったか。
I'll go all out on him. That's how I'll show my respect for this man. And besides, time is precious. I'll settle this in one strike. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. He swings down the stun rod, which I counter by hitting it with my stun knuckles. The stun rod is repelled by the power of my mechanized arm and sways to the right. Using the power of that momentum, I launch a liver blow with my right fist. I punch the code member right in front of me in the temple with all my might.
やはり俺の。
Blood pours from the corners of Ningirsu's eyes and nose as he falls down onto the floor. Should I finish him off, or... It's of no matter. Either way, he'll be unconscious for a little while. I leave Ningirsu as he is, pick up my Desert Eagle and Government, and swap the magazines. I'm finally starting to get uneasy about how many bullets I have left. I grab the Walther MPL that the other member of Code was holding. The long, narrow frame isn't bent, and as for bullets, I take 3 spare magazines from the fallen gunman and put them in my gun belt. I have to hurry before they catch me. I point the Walther MPL at the pursuing Code members. I pull the trigger and the gun releases a 3-round burst. One of the Code members shows holes bored into his right thigh and his left shin. He quickly falls to the floor. Another one is hit in his upper right torso, sending his back into the wall as he falls. Although the MPL has a lower accuracy rate than a similar H&K MP5, which is much more widely used by both the military and police all over the world, it's still enough to take down a human. But it's out of ammo. The leader of Code should be around here. I throw away the MPL and take my trusty Desert Eagle and Government out of their holsters once again. Are they waiting in ambush? Before my enemies can get into their firing stances, I dash down the hallway. Although my enemies have their Beretta M92FSs pointed at me, their aim is unsettled. I line my Desert Eagle and Government up side by side, project my arms forward, and just run, run, run. Something shines in the corner of my field of vision. And yet another light appears. In the blink of an eye, 2 fairies are fluttering about right by me. Are they doing it to disorient the Code members and mess up their aim? I shoot one of the members in the face with multiple 45 ACP bullets. Blood, chunks of meat, and sparks spill out of him as gravity takes him down. I shoot another one in the knee with a hollow point bullet. His body bends back and forth unnaturally as he collapses in the hallway. Everything above the jaw of my next enemy splatters on the wall, slowly sliding down. But the survivors point the gun barrels of their M92FSs at me. Before they can pull the trigger, Lem waves her hand. As if she were controlling them like puppets, the Code members point their muzzles in random directions. It's like magic. The fairies are assisting me? But why? Because I'm a god on the net?
それが使命だから。そう。私たちの役目。
Mission, huh? If they're fairies that are dependents of the gods, then that might be natural for them. If they're giving me their help, then I will gratefully accept it. After I've carried out my duty, I'll gladly give them anything, whether it's my life, my soul, or a pound of my own flesh. I aim at one of the Code members' left flank and fire with the 50 AE. The bullet hits his arm, which had been moved in the way, and mutilates it. I run through the blood-stained hallway. The fairies by my side leave behind a trail of light as they fly. There's no Code members blocking my way now. What's going on? Have they given up? Or is Enlil already...
ヒー君前止まって
Lem's voice brings me out of my sea of thoughts, and I raise my face. The fairies are pointing into midair and shouting. Just what's going on? I extend my right hand, still clutching my Desert Eagle. I feel a hard sensation. It's a bulletproof glass wall. I see. Since they can't beat me, they're trying to physically trap me this time. There's a small hole around the ceiling with gas coming out. It's probably carbon monoxide or nitrogen gas used to extinguish fires. It seems they plan to suffocate me, but such a repulsive method won't work on me. I access the control server. I grasp the nape of the necks of the code members' shadows guarding the opening-closing system, throw them away, and steal the root authority. I open all the gates and movable walls leading to the core. Then I close the bulkheads behind me to block the code members pursuing me. Finally, I lock the program. The wall before my eyes slowly retracts up to the ceiling. The fairies and I run through the gap it creates as I crack the system once again. I close the wall I just opened and pass through.
おい、なんだ早く開けろ
The pursuers from Code finally arrive behind me. Like I was just seconds ago, they've been brought to a standstill. With mortified looks on their faces, my enemies bang on the wall. I've already defeated them. Right then. Have I seen this scene before? Why? Was this in the past? Or...
ヒーコ
Lem's voice brings me back to reality. This isn't the time to be thinking about such things. Lem flies ahead of me. Is she trying to guide me? She's just like Tinkerbell, guiding children to Neverland. Or is she more like the Pied Piper of Hamelin?
ヒー君こっちだよ
Whatever. If it means killing Enlil, then I don't care where she leads me. The fairy stops at a door that lies deep in the beast of a building. Have I finally arrived at the location where Code's leader is? But
ヒー
the one there is the woman who has helped me so many times. But didn't Ishtar say that she wasn't going to help me? Or did she change her mind at the very end and came here to help out?
ついにここまでニンギリスでも歯が立たなかったか
That code member reaches for the left side of his waist, trying to whip out his gun. My body automatically relaxes and points the front sight of my Desert Eagle at his head.
待って
Ishtar cuts between us. I just barely managed to stop my index finger from pulling the trigger in time. What's she trying to do?
二人とも武器を収めて
なぜ止めるイナンナ
Did he say Inanna, not Ishtar?
止めなければあなたはそして彼も死ぬわだからお願い
だがこいつはエンリル様の
分かってるでもお願い
Ishtar, or is it Inanna, casts her eyes downwards. Well, whatever her name is, it doesn't matter. The code member glares at me detestably and takes his hand off his gun. The other surviving codebreakers follow suit. Why is Code obeying Ishtar's orders? The other code members stare at Ishtar, awaiting their next orders. Impossible.
ええ私が今やコードの首領イナンナです無益な争いはもうやめましょうお互いの目的は同じはず
The same goal? Even though Code is the one that's been getting in my way? Even though I've been risking my life by killing members of Code?
それはあなたが真実を認識していないために起きた不幸な現実なのです
She says this in an admonishing tone. Does she see me as a child who doesn't know anything and is throwing a tantrum? It's true that according to the data I obtained, Enlil is dead. If that's true, then what's Code's current goal? I can't swallow Inanna's words. but I have no basis to deny them. Should I continue to trust Ishtar? Or must I reject her?
イナンナ様、お許しを。
やめて。ダメ。危ない。
Lem stretches her hands out and gets between us, but
邪魔だ。
she is knocked against the wall. My other guardian fairy lets out a bitter shout. The man runs this way. There's something shining dully in his hands. I feel a sharp pain in the left side of my abdomen. This is bad, bad, bad! My left arm reacts to the warnings coming from my brain and instantly grabs the man's neck. And then... in that instant, sparks like lightning completely fill my field of vision.
Shin!
Did she say scene? What am I forgetting? Do I know that name? Scene, Sheen, original sin. The god of the moon, the red spreading before my eyes. Red moon. She died, I killed her? That's wrong. That's wrong! That's wrong! I wanted to save her! I feel excruciating pain in my head, as if my skull were having nails pounded into it. My field of vision grows dark. My consciousness begins to fade. Whew. Okay, well, I'm going to stop here for this session. So this is kind of interesting. Going a little too much in detail about the way he's fighting, but I'll press on. Till next time, bye.